Hello everybody and welcome back to the Rich Life in LA. So one of the things that I was really big on this summer in LA is establishing a regular exercise routine. So today I want to introduce you to the woman who is very instrumental in that, my trainer here in LA. She's a top tier trainer. Her name is Adaugo Akaluso. And we taped this next segment on my last day of training to give me some tips and to give you some tips for things that we can do at home, simple exercises to keep us nice and fit and bring a little sexy back too. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
So I'm really excited for you to take everything you've learned and use it back home.
Yes.
Keep me posted on everything.
I promise I will. You guys have to keep me accountable. But I wanted her to come on the show so that you could give me some tips and everybody out there some tips on what you can do at home, even if you can't get to the gym. Because I think that was like my thing. I was like, you know, if I can't get to the gym, I'm kind of lazy at home. I don't really know what to do.
Yeah.
So what are the things that you would recommend? What are the easiest things, but also most effective things that you would recommend?
A great question. So your body is the best possible gym you can have. There's so many things you can do without any equipment. So like I told you, the squat, a plank, and a push-up. Now, doing those and having the right form with it can carry you into doing so many other things based off of just those movements. So if you can do the squat.
Okay, so what would you say are the most important things we need to keep in mind with our squat?
So with your squat, a lot of people, it's a knee dominant movement, correct? And you will feel it in your quads, but it's also important to feel it, and your quads are the front of your legs. And it's very important also to feel it in your glutes, your booty, and not to feel your lower back and to feel your core. Okay, so we did a little demo so you'll see what that should look like. Go down into your squat, push through your heels predominantly, but you want to also make sure you have 3 points of contact: big toe, little toe, and heel on the ground at all times. Okay. And then the second one, push up.
Okay.
So the push up, so many different varieties. The way I coach it, and you'll hear other ways, you want to have your wrist somewhat underneath your shoulder. You want to rotate the pits of your elbows forward, and what that does is it stabilizes your shoulder blades, because a lot of people have unstable shoulder blades, so when you do a push-up they feel it a lot in their shoulders. But you're supposed to feel the push-up in your chest, and also want to feel your core. Think of the push-up as a moving plank. So it's like you're in a plank position and just taking yourself down and up. So think of everything you're working in that movement.
Okay, and speaking of which, the plank.
Yes.
Oh, the plank. I think the first time you had me do a plank, I maybe did I last 5 seconds? Maybe?
Close to 10. Close to 10. Give yourself some credit. She lasted close to 10. And that's because a lot of us can get up in that position, but holding it correctly and activating the right muscle groups is what's difficult. So a lot of people will feel it in their lower back or their shoulders because, again, their shoulder blades aren't stabilized. They're not activating everything from up here to right above your knees, your quads. Okay, so your core encompasses all of this. It's not just your stomach. Yeah. So keeping everything stable and holding the plank correctly, you shouldn't really be lasting like 5 minutes like you see some people, unless, I don't know, maybe they are doing it correctly and they're just that strong, so kudos to them. I know I can't last that long. But when the plank is done correctly, you're really strengthening so many more things besides just your abdominals. Okay. Think of yourself being a literal plank, a board, okay? So palms down, wrist underneath shoulders, rotating, step back, feet together. And I did this with Riche, she'll tell you. Pull and hold. Now, if I wasn't pulling or anything like that, I'd be like this. So that's not a plank. This, and just hold as long as you can.
So we've got our 3 exercises we can all do at home, and I want to show you some gadgets too that we've been using that I also ordered so I can have those at home too.
So to intensify some of these things, or to even activate, we have these bands. I got these because the rubber ones tend to roll up a little bit, so these are more cloth. You can find these on Amazon. Put it right above the knees, okay? And what you do with this is it helps kind of gauge what you're activating when you're squatting, because sometimes our knees collapse in, and what that means is that we're not using our glutes when we're squatting.
Yeah.
So remember what I always tell you is push your knees out a little bit, so you're creating tension on this, and then you start to feel your glutes a little bit more. So there are different tensions with these bands. That's one thing. Another thing you can do with these bands while laying on the ground, those glute bridges. So you see people laying on the ground and just thrusting up.
Oh.
Using these bands kind of
those
changes
are
the game a
hard.
little bit.
Yeah,
So
she's
you
like,
can
push your knees
out, hold it, okay? So you can use single, double, and you can see how this can really get you to activate a lot more and make it a little more difficult. So whether it's your reps, your time, you can structure this in a way to keep you progressing when you're at home.
Okay.
Another band I use is this. Now this one is very helpful because you can tie it around so many different things. You can do rows with it, you can do correctives with it. Correctives. So if you have something like pinched shoulders or something like that, you want to do something called shoulder flossing, just to warm up your shoulders so you're not jumping right into, say, your push-ups.
Okay.
Okay? So you can tie this around something, say like you were holding this, say you were a door, and I'm holding it on this end. You can do your rows with this at home, okay? Tie it up to other things, and you can do shoulder presses. So it just depends on what you're trying to work that day. Google is your best friend, but this is also something that you can do without a gym.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So there we have it. Just a lot of easy stuff that we should all be able to do. I want everybody to follow you on Instagram too. What's your Instagram handle?
At Adaugo Akaluso. So
Okay.
First name, last name.
Got it. And I'm going to spell it out so you guys have notes. Use now to find her. Again so much. I'm going to miss you so much. But I'm going to update you on my progress.
Yes. Y'all keep her accountable.
Please do, and make sure you subscribe so that you can stay up to date with all of the latest here on The Riche Life. I'll be back at home really, really soon, but until then, I'm going to continue living my best life in LA. All right, until next time, take care, everybody.